Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA. Today myself, Shay McBrearty, I'm speaking mere minutes after Donegal's huge victory over Tyrone for their psyche, really, for their psychology and their season going forward. They beat Tyrone in McCool Park in Ballybofey by 2 goals and 10 points to Tyrone's 12 points. And I have to say, at halftime, I thought this was Tyrone's game to win. I thought there was absolutely no way Donegal were going to win this game. The reason was that the wind was so strong. I mean, if you want an example of how strong the wind was, in the first half, Michael McKernan, his second point, he hit a glorious point. He hit it really high and it went over the bar. And yet a Tyrone player got to the end line and managed to almost keep the ball in. It was unbelievable that showed how strong the wind was. I thought that in the second half, when Donegal didn't go in at halftime with a substantial lead, I thought there was no way that Tyrone weren't going to win the game. I predicted Tyrone to win the game, and so did the other two lads, GA Statsman and Luke. They both picked Tyrone to win, and Donegal surprised everyone. Massive win for them. So let's go into the actual game itself. Right from the start, Donegal did kind of put the pressure on Tyrone, 2 points very early, and they really squeezed up on Niall Morgan's kickouts, forced them to absolutely mess up two of them. They only got 1 point out of it. Ryan McHugh got that point. That made it 2-0 in favour of Donegal, and the first point was kicked by a Paddy McBrearty free after 4 minutes. Then Tyrone levelled up with 2 points. First, it was Derek Hanavan. Great run by him and a great finish. He played pretty well in the first half, especially. And then it was a McCurry pointed free to make it 2 points each. Paddy McBrearty then, who was outstanding throughout the whole game, he gets his first point on 11.5 minutes. Great point on the loop. Trademark McBrearty point, 3 points to 2 in favour of Donegal. Then Michael McKernan levels with a lovely point just a minute after. A lovely run inside by McKernan, kicks it off the right foot over the bar. And then a Tyrone move, a long move where they really showed their patience, their ability. And that ends with a goal chance for Con Kilpatrick, which they don't get. Huge moment in the game there because Tyrone would go on to not score a goal. Con Kilpatrick got that goal chance and they got nothing out of it. Michael McKernan who hand passed the ball across the box. It fell to Kilpatrick, no goal there. Then in the 16th minute, there was a long stoppage, a nasty injury for Pádraig McNulty. He had a heavy clash with Odhrán McFadden-Ferry, and both those men are made out of brick. So a clash with either of those men is going to leave you pretty banged up. And unfortunately, it was McNulty. I think it was something with his shoulder or his arm or something, but he had to be taken off, and Richie Donnelly came in. So at this stage, Tyrone are 4 points to 2 up. Then Michael McKernan gets that point that I was talking about, which demonstrated the absolute strength of the wind. And at this point, after McCurry points straight after, it's Tyrone 6 points, Donegal 3. And Tyrone look in complete control. And they'd literally pretty much up until this point, especially after Richie Donnelly points, Frank Byrne set him up for a point to make it 7-3. Tyrone had hit 7 points from 10 attempts. Their first half performance had been flawless. And then they just switched off. First, it was brilliant work by Paddy McBrearty on 35.5 minutes. Lovely 1-2. And then he manages to kind of dummy a hand pass, which sells Paddy Hampsey. Hand passes across the goal to Conor O'Donnell, palms it into the net. Goal for Donegal, 1 point between the sides. All of a sudden now, a bit of a kick by Donegal, but I still thought too little, too late. Tyrone are going to take over the second half, even when Jason McGee kicked a brilliant point to make it 1-4 to 7 points and to make it go in at halftime level. I thought for most of the first half, Donegal were slow in their build-up. They allowed Tyrone to get 15 men behind the ball all the time. The attacks were somewhat predictable, not quick enough. I thought when they put Ryan McHugh in the full forward line with McBrearty at the start that they would be kicking the ball in more. They didn't. And that's why they didn't go in at halftime with the lead. And I was thinking they had it all to do in the second half, which they did, but they did it all. And they really, really came back. I mean, right from the start, Darren McCurry won a free at the start of the second half. He points, but then Sean Patton hit a belter of a free to make it 8 points to 1-5 level again. And I mean, I didn't know that Patton had that capability, really, to be honest. I'd never really seen him kick frees. And yeah, what a wonderful kick that was from him. And then particularly in the second half, I know he got the goal in the first half, but Conor O'Donnell in the second half was absolutely tremendous for Donegal. So was Shane O'Donnell. Those two have been the finds of the league really for Donegal. They've just really come into the round and really made their name in that team that now Conor O'Donnell and Shane O'Donnell have to start for me. They're fantastic in this game for Donegal. O'Donnell pointed after quick interplay. That made it 1-6 to 8 points. And a little bit of belief was built in, even when McCurry equalized straight after to make it 1-6 to 9 points. Donegal's belief was growing that they could compete in this game. Then on 46.5 minutes, a huge goal chance for Donegal. Brilliant movement, brilliant hand passing. The ref actually managed to get in the way and Padar Mogan seemed to barge him forward. The move continues. Hugh McFadden had a shot for goal blocked. It was a hand pass across the goal, and Morgan came out and claimed well, and that was a huge chance missed by Donegal. And I was thinking they need to be taking these chances. Just on the 50th minute, then Shane O'Donnell made a lovely run inside and pointed to put Donegal back into the lead. But that was cancelled out again by Darren McCurry, who had a lovely point on the loop, a massive skyscraper of a point to make it 1-7 to 10 points. Then we went into a bit of a stalemate for a few minutes. Cathal McShane came in on the 56th minute, and he always has a big say when he comes off the bench, and he did just that. He got a point in the 58 minute and 30 seconds. That put Tyrone back into lead 11 points to 1-7. Then Oisin Gallen came in for Hugh McFadden, and Ryan McHugh moved back and sat in front of the defence. And this is where Donegal really got strong. Again, 2 super points in a row by Conor O'Donnell. That was the minute where he really stood up and was counted. 2 brilliant points by him, turn a deficit into a lead. And all of a sudden, Donegal are leading by 1-9 to 11 points. Nathan Donnelly, this was the moment. We're all talking here about Donegal's wonderful victory, but this could have changed everything. Nathan Donnelly kicks it. I don't know what Donegal defender it was, gets caught underneath the ball. It goes straight through to Johnny Munro. He's literally running at the goal. I don't know how he didn't just bury it in the back of the net. It was right there for him. He kicks it over the bar, skies it over, 12 points to 1-9. Donegal got off the hook there. So don't forget this. Donegal got off the hook there. If Tyrone buried that in the back of the net, we could be talking about Tyrone winning, and all the doubts about Donegal still remain. Their performance up to this point in the second half had been fantastic, but that could have changed everything. So then a couple of minutes after this, 65 minutes, Oisin Gallen gets the ball. Brilliant run, keeps his head down, shimmies in and out of players and puts it over the bar. And this proved to be the winning point. Tyrone pushed up, but they missed chance after chance. First, Darren McCurry missed from the sideline. Then he had a shot drop short. And then he also he hit Tyrone's 9th wide. And at this point, they are getting frustrated. They're starting to take pot shots from areas. And then Donegal managed to get on the ball. Oisin Gallen, superb running from him. Superb running power by Donegal in general. Caolan Ward was very impressive as well. Stephen McMenamin, hugely impressive too. Padar Mogan gets on the ball after great running by Oisin Gallen. Mogan hand passes it across the goal to the substitute Jeaic McKelvey, who came in right on the stroke of half time. And McKelvey palms it into the back of the net past Niall Morgan. 2 goals and 10 points to Donegal, 12 points for Tyrone. This is a massive win for Donegal. Make no mistake, this is absolutely huge because they needed this so badly. And to get it is massive. For Tyrone, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. Tyrone and the league, they haven't really cared too much about it. They will be safe in Division 1, so they won't be too worried about this. It was a game that they could have won. Make no mistake, Johnny Munro puts that shot in the back of the net, as I was talking about. I think Tyrone leave with the 2 points, so they won't be too worried about their performances. They've got players blossoming all over the pitch. Nathan Donnelly and Dara Canavan are really growing into the team, so they won't be too worried about this. For Donegal, it's a massive, massive win because they were without Michael Murphy, without Oran McNeilish, without Michael Langan, without Jamie Brennan. And to get the victory really is a reminder of the talent that they have in their side. So it's a massive victory for Donegal, and now they're looking pretty safe in Division 1 for another year. So yeah, that's my immediate match reaction. I will do a match review with Luke at some point, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it finished Donegal 2-10, Tyrone 12 points. Massive win for Donegal. Keep an eye out for all the other content here on Play on GAA, and take care.